Welcome back. Great to have your company this morning. Research shows that the most financially stressful time in Aussie adults' lives is the lead up to having a baby.
From trying to manage childcare to parental leave, as well as furniture and clothing expenses and all the food they waste, you begin to realise that kids ain't cheap, which is exactly why Anna Kresina has written a book by that title. And she joins us now from Melbourne with all her advice. Good morning, Anna. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Why did you decide to write this book?
Well, there's so much information on how to plan for pregnancy, but there's so little information about how much do kids cost, what to plan for, and what are some of the things that you have to navigate as a parent when it comes to the finances of raising a family.
Well, let's start with that. What's some of the biggest financial struggles that new parents will probably face?
Well, a lot of parents have to plan financially when it comes to fertility. They have to think about those early childhood education costs when you send your child to childcare. And there's also the impact of taking parental leave as well, how that kind of plays out for your family as well when you're not having any money coming in, but you have expenses that have increased.
Tell us a bit about the motherhood penalty and the fatherhood bonus. These are two things you talk about and how they're impacting on the gender super gap.
Yes, this is so interesting. I found it really fascinating. What I heard when I was doing the research for this book is that mothers who return to work, they actually see a decrease of 5% when it comes to their income, whereas fathers, on the other hand, see a 6% increase. And a lot of this comes and plays into biases that we see in the workforce as well. Fathers are seen as a little bit more competent, they need to provide for their family, whereas mothers are sometimes seen as being, having their being a little bit distracted when it comes to parenthood. This doesn't mean it's true, but unfortunately these are the biases that play into it.
So what are your top takeaways for, like, let's say, navigating childcare and parental leave, which is something that would be playing on a lot of people's minds?
For sure. One of the first things you need to do is budget, run the numbers, and see how much time are you planning on taking on parental leave, and how do you think how much money you're going to need. And when it comes to parental leave as well, make sure to talk to your employer and see if you get any paid parental leave during that time, and also if you have any government subsidies that you can kind of tap into. And in terms of your super, there's also ways that you can put money into your super. Women are more likely to end up in poverty due to the fact that they don't have as much money in their super. Women have about $136,000 less than men in their super when they're ready to retire. So it's really important to make sure that you have your retirement savings in place.
For parents out there who are facing financial stress right now, what should they keep in mind? Where can they go for help?
Yeah, you can definitely look on the government website to see if there's any help that you can get in terms of subsidies. But other things that you can consider is, where can you cut down on some of your costs? You can reach out to your bank and see if you can get a mortgage rate reduction or talk to your landlord. You can also just focus on some of the values that you have with your kids as well. Money is a huge part and a big stressful time, but kids really want to spend time with you. That's the whole reason. They love their parents, and spending time with your kids is a big thing that we should do as parents.
Until they're teenagers. And then they don't want to see you ever again.
Exactly.
You could grab a copy of Anna's Parental and Financial Advice, Kids Ain't Cheap, from your local bookstore or online today. Anna, thanks so much for your time.
Anna.
Thanks for having me.
See you soon. Coming up, are you reaching